Hello everyone, my name is Ankit Jain. I welcome you all to my channel, Tech Journey with Ankit. In today's video, we will explore another LWC coding interview question which has been asked to one of the developers. In this question, basically we will try to understand what all different things that you can do out of the box within the LWC. Again, this question has been asked to the 2+ years experienced professional to understand his LWC concept. So without further delay, we will go over the scenario and also we will try to implement that scenario as well programmatically in this video so that you guys will also get the understanding in case the similar kind of a question comes, how you can go and explain the approach as well. In case you folks like to have one-to-one connect with me, you guys can go and scan this QR code, or you guys can also click on the link in the video description so that you guys can navigate to TopMed. Once you guys go on the TopMed, there will be two options available here. First one is for one-to-one call with me, and another one here is to get the digital products. For example, you guys can come here and download the LWC guide. In case you folks have attended the bootcamp and want to download the notes and the code, this is the one-stop solution to do it. You can download the updated Salesforce admin guide. Moreover, whatever the code that we are building in the today's session, or in case you folks wants to download the set of interview questions, which is having more than 350+ interview questions, you guys can go and purchase this interview prep guide. Trust me, this interview prep guide help many of the folks to get speed up in their interview preparation journey. So I hope you guys will also found this particular guide helpful. Moreover, in this guide, you will not only get the interview questions and the detailed answer. In this series, whatever the code that we are developing, everything will be available with this interview prep guide only. Another option that you guys can have here is in case you guys wants to connect with the larger community, you guys can come here and connect with the join this Telegram channel where you can connect and ask the different Salesforce questions to the wider community as well. Now, the interview question for today is this, where we have been asked to create the Lightning Web Component with the help of which we can create the account record and also we can create the related contact record as well. Again, there are few requirements that they have given in the form that we are building. We have to give the account name, we have to give the industry, but in the industry we should have the pick list values. Moreover, we have to give the contact name, where we have to, there's a condition that we have to make sure that it is required and it should not be same as the account name. And the last thing here is the contact email, which is having the domain as the salesforce.com. Moreover, another ask here is they make sure that we are not using the Apex to build this logic. We are doing it with the help of Lightning Data Services. And also, as they have mentioned, we have to also take care of the client side validations as well. So again, in the interview, they have asked to explain the approach. They have not asked to write down the code. But again, if you have to explain the approach, you should know what all different things that you need to do to take care of the validations. You should know what is LDS, what all the different options to create the record with the help of LDS. Moreover, you should also know how you can do the client side validations as well. And that's why this example is very helpful in case you folks don't have any clue on how you can get this done. So this is the kind of a form that we will be developing in the today's video, where we will make the few fields mandatory and also we will handle the few validations at the JavaScript end as well. As I said, in case you folks want to download the code, you have to go to the TopMed and purchase the interview prep guide, where you can get the code for whatever we are building in the today's solution. Now we can go and get started to build the Lightning Web Component, which can meet all these business requirements. So here I go and I'm creating the one Lightning Web Component with the name of create account with related content. Let me go and zoom this. First, I will go and start build the HTML file. In my HTML file, I need one Lightning card so that I can have a white background. And here I am giving the title as account with related contact. Adding some padding, div class SLDS, where p around small. Now here I am adding the first field name for the account name. So here I go and give the Lightning input. putting a label here as an account name. Another thing here is because there will be multiple inputs, so I am using here the unique name attribute, and here I am giving the name as the account name. Moreover, what I am doing here is here I am also providing the value is equal to. Why value? Because I need to go and clear this. So I am making sure that I am giving the value here and on change. In case user is making any change, then I will be executing the handler. That is the handle input. So this is my first input field that I am creating. There are few validations that has been asked to take care. The first one here is this field should be required, right? So here I am putting the required is equal to true. And in case user is not giving entering the value, then I want to give the more appropriate error message. So here I am using message when value missing, and here I am using the message. Please enter. One thing that I have done, folks, here is I have made sure that I am giving the name and the value is same. Why I am doing this, I will explain this concept when I move to the JavaScript, but make sure that here I am giving the account name and value and the same value. And then I'm adding the another inputs. My second input here will be the combo box. So where I need to go and use the get the values and then display the value. So here I will be using the combo box. So let me add another input here. Lightning combo box. Giving the label here as the industry, name here as the industry. Again, I'm keeping the name and the value same. And as of now, I have not defined any option, but we will go and do this down the line. So here I am putting the options as the industry options as well. And again, you can also go and add some padding if you want, but I don't think the padding is required at this moment. Moreover, in case user is making any change, then I am calling the same method here, that is the handle input change. Again, there is no such validation that this field should be required, so we are okay for now. Now I am adding another field that is the contact name. So here I go and put the another input, that is the lightning input, with the label is equal to contact last name. And yeah, I can go with the last name as the name. Moreover, I am also defining the value here with the same thing, that is the last name. And on the on change, I am executing the same handler, that is the handle input change. In my scenario, this field is also required. So what I am doing here is here also I am putting the required is equal to true. Right? And now the last field that I will be adding here is the contact email, which is again going to be the required field. So here I go. I am putting here the field name as the email. If you want, you can also put the type as email. Okay, but I'm not doing it because there is no such requirement that the type should be email. But again, it's completely your choice. If you want to do it, go it. Otherwise, you can skip it. So here I am using the type and the name and the value. I am keeping here also the same. I am making it required, and then I am adding the handle input change method here as well. And finally, I'll be adding one button. So let me go and add some another padding so that I can go and put the button here. Here I am putting the lightning button brand, and let me give the variant as the brand. Here I am giving the label as the submit. Title is something which is not required, so you can ignore that for now. I am giving here the on click, that is the submit handler. What else we can do here? Yeah, one more thing that I want to do whenever I am performing the DML operation, I want to disable that button. So what I'll be doing here is here I am using the disabled attribute so that conditionally I can go and disable that button whenever I am performing some operations at the back end. So here I am using the disabled attribute with the is loading is equal to yes. Right now, again, in case you guys want to give more specific messages here as well, for example, message when value missing, Please enter email. You guys can do that here. Here, if you want to go and give the message when valuing, please enter last name. You can give more specific messages as well. Right now, based on whatever the things that we have defined here, let's go and start building our JavaScript file. So what all different properties that we have used on the HTML file, let's first go and define those properties. So first property here is the account name. Let me go and put that account name. Second property here is the industry. Third property that we do have here is the industry options. Okay, industry option is something that I want to populate with the help of wired method. So we will come back to the industry options later. So here I go and put the last name and the last property, that is the email property. Moreover, here I am also using the is loading property as well. So what I am going to do here is I will go and set here the is loading value by default to false, because I don't want this button should be disabled by default. So here I am setting its value by default as the false. So I do have the 4 inputs coming up here along with the is loading attribute. Now there are 2 methods that I have defined. First one here is the handle input change, so that I can go and read the values. That is the first method, and the second method here is the submit handler, so that I can also go and read the submit operation as well. So these are all different things that we have used on the HTML file, and I have defined it here. Now the very first thing that I need to do here before I even go and started writing down my business logic is I have to go and load the industry options. Again, to load the industry option, we have to take the help of the wire adapter. In case you guys don't know, we can use here the wire adapter, something like get pick list values. So get pick list values. This is the wire adapter that can be used to get the pick list value. In our scenario, we have to get the pick list value for the industry field. So you can go and get the pick list values, something like this. So for that, very first thing that you have to do here is you have to get the object info. Once you got the object info, you can use the get pick list value. Why get object info is required? Because to use the get pick list value, you have to pass the record type ID, and the record type ID will come up from the get object info adapter. So very first thing, again, either you can go and start writing down, but here I prefer to do the copy and paste from this example, where I am importing these methods with the help of which I have to go and make the operation. So here I will be importing the account object as well. And also I am importing here the industry field from @Salesforce slash schema slash account dot industry. Right. So this is how I am getting my industry field. Now again, I'm coming back here. The very first thing that I am doing here is here I am making a call with the help of wire decorator. As I have to use the wire decorator, I have to make sure that I am importing the wire decorator as well. And let me go and make the call, and accordingly I will go and do the changes. So in my scenario also, I have to make the call to the account object. I have to go and get the data, right? So account record type ID is something that I have to also get. So let me go and define this field, account record type ID, in which I will go and store the whatever the record ID that we do have here. Moreover, in case any error comes, so let me also go and store the error in the one of the property. So what I am doing here is here I am using the error property as well. Now coming to the next part that I will do here. In this example, what I'm going to do now here is I will go and get the industry options as well. I got the account record type ID. Now, based on that, I have to go and get the pick list value. So to get the pick list value, again, I am copying this method and putting up here. So what this method will do, this method will give me the pick list values that I can directly use. So coming back here, so I'm passing the account record type ID that I do have. And in my scenario, I have to use the industry field to get the value. So here I go and use the industry field. Now, whatever the values that I am getting here, that is the options. Let me go and store these options into this industry options variable. So again, I am defining this as an empty array for now. right? So as soon as we'll get some options, what we're gonna do here is we will go and store the options into the industry option. As soon as we'll get something, what we're gonna do here is we will go and store that into the industry options. Else I am making it as the undefined. Very simple. I have not written anything. I simply navigate to that page from where I am getting the object info, and also I am getting the pick list values, and I'm simply displaying that pick list values here, right? Wherever the pick list values will be available, we are loading that pick list values into the industry options. Again, it's completely up to you if you want to go with the wire function or you want to go with the wire properties. In case you folks have followed the bootcamp, I have shown you both the approaches in the bootcamp, how you can use the wire property and how you can use the wire function. Now, the next thing that I have to do here is whatever the values that user have entered, I have to go and store that value in this property. So what I'm going to do here is here I go and access this property something like this. So here I am putting that whatever the field in which user have entered the value. So what I am doing here is try to understand the 3 lines of code, right? It is very simple to, again, it's not very simple to understand at the first time, but again, if I try to explain you, I hope it will make sense to you. What this event.target.name will return, this event.target.name, for example, if the user is entering the value into the name, it will return me the account name. So my field will have the account name. Whatever the value that user have entered, it will have under the value variable. Now what I am doing here is here I am using the this of particular field. As I said, right, I have maintained both of them are same. And this is the reason I have maintained both of them are same so that I don't have to check for each field and populate the value. So with this one line, what I am doing here is I am directly identifying the field because I make the property name and the name are same and I am directly storing the value. Otherwise, what you have to do, you have to go and check the name for each particular field, and then you have to go and populate the value. You can directly reduce those steps by using this 3 field only by the logic, maintaining the name and the value as the same. It is mandatory. Answer to this is no, it is not mandatory. Only thing is it's a smart way of doing the programming. That's it. Right now we got whatever the input that user have entered. Now the next thing that we have to do here is we have to go and do the validation sheet. Whenever the user is clicking on the submit button, I don't have to directly go and submit the form. First, I have to go and perform the validation. So what I am doing here is here I am creating another method that is the validate user input method. So as soon as user clicked on this button, I will start performing the validations here. In case the validations are failed, then and then only, sorry, in case the validations are successful, then and then only I will go and perform the create operation. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is from this method, I am simply calling this method for now. And whatever this method will return, let me go and store this into the variable. Let is valid. I am storing this into this variable. Now in this, I have to go and perform the validation. So how you can perform the validation? I have to perform the validations for all the lightning input. Again, there are more than one lightning input. Whenever there is more than one lightning inputs, or whenever you have to fetch more than one value from the HTML file into the JavaScript, what option we use? Again, if you guys know the answer, please pause the video and let me know the answer in the chat box. Whenever you have to fetch more than one HTML tags in the JavaScript, we should use the this.template.query selector all. So here also I am using the same. Here I am using the this.template.query selector all, and here I am getting all the lightning input. So this is my lightning inputs. That's what I am fetching. So here I am passing the. Now I got all the elements. It is nothing but an array. So what I have to do here is I have to go and iterate over this array. So what I am doing here is here I am putting elements dot for each. So I am accessing each element here in the array. So while accessing each element in the array, I have to check the validity of that array. How you can check the validity? Again, in case you guys don't know what is the method, simply go to the component library and navigate to the lightning input. Everything is available in the documentation. You guys should know how to simply navigate that documentation. So again, if you guys scroll down here, you guys can see that we do have one method out of the box available, with the help of which we can check if the input is valid or not. So that's what I will be checking for each item. Here I will be checking whether it is valid or not. So here I am checking each item, current item dot check validity. It's a method. In case it is not valid, for example, I am using here the not symbol. Then I have to go and report the error message. In case it is not valid, all the validations that we are doing, in case it is not valid, then what I have to do, I have to go and report the error message. Again, to report the error message, you guys can see we do have another method with the help of which we can go and display the error message. So what I am doing here is, here I am simply reporting that error message. That is current item dot report validity. So I am iterating over each element one after the other, and I am reporting the error message. One more thing that I also want to do here is, here I am tracking whether everything is valid or not before I have to go and submit the form. So let's say I'm initializing one Boolean variable where I'm saying that everything is valid. In case anything turns invalid, what I'm going to do here is I will simply go and set this flag value to false. In case anything goes invalid, I will simply come here and set this particular flag value to false. So this is not taking, I'm also not sure. Let is valid. Let me do one thing. Let is valid is equal to true, right? And in case anything turns invalid, what I will be doing here is the very first thing that I will do before even I go and report the validity, I will set this flag value to false. Okay, one thing I'm still wondering why it is making that as an assigned but never used, although I am using it. But let's see, in case we are getting any error, I will go and try to figure it out why we are getting this particular error. But for now, we are good. Right now, the next thing that I have to do here is I have to perform some other validation as per the problem statement. For example, if I take you to the problem statement, there are other validations that we have to do. The validation here is the contact last name and the account name must not be the same. In case they both are same, then also I have to give the error message. So for that, what I am doing here is, first I am getting the contact last element. I'm not getting the last name because last name I already have in my variable. I want to go and fetch this element. So to fetch that element, what I am doing here is, because I only want to go and fetch this element, let's say I'm adding one class here. You can give any name to the class. Here I am giving the class name as the contact last name. And I want to only go and fetch this particular element. So whenever you have to fetch the one single element, you always go and use the option that is the this dot template dot query selector, not the query selector all. Whenever you have to only fetch one, you go and use the query selector only. And here I am putting dot contact last name. Whatever the element that I do have, let me go and store that element into one of the variable. And here I am giving the variable name as the contact element. Right now, the next thing that I am doing here is, here I am checking whether the contact name and the first account name is same or not. So here I go and use this dot last name. If it is same as this dot account name, then I have to give the error message, right? So again, previously we have given the default error messages directly from the HTML file. Now we have to give the error message from the JavaScript. How you can do that? Again, coming to the documentation, you guys can see that there's another method, that is the set custom validity, using which you can go and set your custom error message. That's what we are doing here. Here I go and put contact element dot set custom validity, and here I am giving the error the message. For example, last name should not be same as the account. Now, in case they both are same, I have to go and perform the another validation. Okay, here I have given the error message, but also I have to go and display that error message on the UI. So to display the error message on the UI, you should always use the report validity method. So here also I will do the same. I am using here the contact element dot report validity method so that the error message will be displayed on the another validation that I am doing. Okay, one more thing before I move to another validation, I have to again go and set this validation flag value to false. So that's what I am doing here. Again, I am setting is valid flag value to false here as well. Right? In case it has been there, but in case any error comes, I am setting this particular flag value to false. Now the next thing that I am need to go and check here. Here again I am checking. My another validation was they have asked related to the email, and they are saying that the contact email must be a required field, and also it must have the domain that is the salesforce.com domain only. So now I want to get the contact email. So again, I am assigning one class here as well, and that is the contact email. Right now, again, I have to first go and get this element. Let contact email is equal to this dot template dot query selector, and here I go and get that element. So whenever you guys have to get the class, make sure that first you go and put the dot, followed by that you go and put the class name. So here I got my element. Now once you got the element, again the same validation needs to be done. So here I will be checking whether my contact email, so this dot email, whether it is ending with. So we do have one method in the JavaScript that is the ends with method, with the help of which we can check whether it is ending with. In our scenario, the ask was whether it is ending with the domain salesforce.com or not. So here I will go and check at the rate. If it is not ending with the salesforce.com, so again I am using the not symbol. Then what we have to do, we have to give the error message. So again I will follow the same approach. That is the contact email dot. We have to use the same method, set custom validity, to give the error message. And here I am giving the error message. For example, please enter a valid email ID. Moreover, I am reporting the error message, and also I am setting is valid flag value to false. So whenever any error comes, we are following the kind of a similar approach by setting this Boolean flag value. Now, after I come here, okay, one more thing that I missed to do here, and I'm sorry for that, that in case there are no errors, then again I have to go and clear that message as well. So what I will do here is in the else part, I will simply go and clear these messages. So here I go and put set custom validity, that is there is no message. And after that, again, I have go here and report the client. If you don't do this, then the previous message will always stay. Here again, we have to go and do the same thing. In case that is not the case, then I have to go come here and make the message as blank. And also I need to go and report the yes. So we have done the exact same thing. And once we have done with all the validations, in case everything goes good till now, then what I'm going to do here is, so this is our method, right? I will simply go and return our flag, that is the is valid flag, right? So basically this is the flag which will go and define whether everything is worked as successful or not. In case this flag value is true till end, that means that all the validations are fast. But in case if this flag value is false, if it is true, then we are good to go and perform the other operation. But in case it is false, then we can say that, and for the timing, I'm simply putting the alert, that is the validations, right? And here I am simply putting the console.log, that is the validations. Definitely, there are a few more things that needs to be done, but we will do it down the line. Okay, it is showing that unexpected alert. right? We are, as of now, we have designed the UI, we are doing the validations, right? And we are loading the industry pictures. With these changes, let's go and check whether it is working as expected or not. If it is, then we will come back and take the next step where we will go and perform the DML operation. So here I go and I'm exposing my component to the app page and clicking on the deploy button. Let's navigate and add that component on the UI. So here I go, navigating to my application, and let me go and add that component here. So my component name that I have created here is account with related contact. Let me go and drag that component here. No, this is not the component. What is the component name? Create account with the related contact. So this is the component name. Let me go and drag that component here. So my UI is coming up. Let's go and validate whether it is coming up as expected or not. So I'm getting the pick list value. So this part is also good. In case I am not entering anything, I am getting the appropriate error messages, right? So this part is also good, right? Let's say I am maintaining both of them as same, test and test, and clicking on submit. You can see I am getting the appropriate error message that the last name should not be same as the account name. So this is also working correct. For example, here I am putting Ankit at the take journey. And let me go and pick up here the test one. So yeah, we are getting the appropriate error message in case my email is not ending with the salesforce.com. So till here, everything is working as expected. Now the last step that needs to be done, where we have to go and perform the DML operations on the record, where we have to go and create the account along with the related contact. So let's go back to our VS Code, navigating to the JavaScript. All the validations are going well, and that's what we have expected. Now, what I will do here is, in case everything is good, then I will go and start performing the DML operation. So again, what I am doing here is, here I am creating another method, that is the create account with contact. Okay, this is the method that I will be invoking. So here I go and put actually this, right, and let me navigate here, and I am creating another method now after the validation. That is the create account with the contact. So again, they have given the instruction here, while creating the account with the contact, we don't have to use the Apex. So the option that is left here is we have to go and use the wire adapter. So what wire adapter that you can use whenever you have to go and create the record? The answer to this here is the create record wire adapter. With the help of this create record wire adapter, you can go and perform the create operation, right? Again, if you guys can see, it's an asynchronous method, because whenever we perform any DML operation, it's always asynchronous in the Salesforce. Specifically, if you are doing it from the LWC, it's always asynchronous, right? So here again, we have to use the asynchronous method, and this is the adapter that needs to be called, where we have to go and pass my record input. In my record input, there should be two things. First one here is the API name of the object, and second thing here is the fields that we have to go and populate, right? So we go and use this approach. So again, to perform the create record operation, I will be importing this create record adapter method in my component. Coming back here, importing this method. And now also I have to go and import what all different fields on which I have to go and perform the operation. So here I go and import the account name, right? And also I am importing here the import contact last name. After that, also I am importing here is the contact email field. And also we have to make sure that whenever we are importing the contact, it must be linked with the account. So I am also importing here the contact account field, right? These are the different fields that I have imported here. Now what we're going to do here is we have to go and populate the values into this field. Once the validations are completed, we have to go and populate the value in this field. So how we can do that? So here I'm using or let me go and first define one object with the name of const, let's say account fields. So this is my object. In this object, I will go and populate all the account related fields. So how I am doing it? Here I am go and put the very first field that I have to go and populate here is the account name. So under the account field object, I am populating one of the property that is the account name, and here I am passing the account name as well. So this is the way whenever you want to dynamically populate any property inside the object, that's what we are doing, and we are passing the actual value. Similarly, here I will also be passing the account name, and here I am passing the another field that is the industry field dot field API name. Here I am passing the value that is the base dot industry. Right, so we have populated these two fields. These are only two fields that we have to go and populate whenever we have to go and create the account record. Now the next thing that we have to do here is we have to go and use the create record method. So what I am doing here is const, let's say account record. This is the record that I have to create. So here I am using the await followed by the create record. Again, as I am using the await, it is mandatory to go and use the async method. That's what I am doing. And while creating the record, as I said, there are two things that needs to be passed. Again, if you follow the documentation, the first thing that needs to be passed here is the API name. So here I go and pass the API name colon, that is the account object dot object API name. And the second thing that we have to pass here is the fields. That's what I am passing here, whatever the fields that I have to go and create. Similarly, once my account record is created, another good practice that you folks can follow also here is whenever perform the DML operation, always try to do that in the try catch block. So here also you can go and put the try catch block. In the case of error, you can say that, or you can simply go and log the error for now. Another thing that I am doing here is I have to go and another thing that I have to do here is I need to go and create the related contact. So let's go and first follow the same approach here as well. So here again I am putting the const. This time I am putting the contact fields that I have to go and populate. Now the same approach like we have done here, right? Similar approach we have to go and do here as well. So here I go and put contact fields. First I am populating the last name. After that I am populating the related field as well, right? That is the account ID. How you can get the account ID? Whenever we create the record, it always returns the ID. To show you folks, I'm already doing the console.log here, but whenever it creates the record, it always returns the ID of that record. And the last thing that I'm populating here is the email as well. So I'm populating the last name, account field, and the email. Once all these three fields are populated, then what I'll do here is I will again call the const, this time a contact record method. And again, I am using the await method with the create record. And this time I am passing the contact object along with the contact fields. So one thing that I need to again go and import, that is the contact object. I already have imported the account object, but I have not imported the contact object. So here I go and import the contact object as well. And let me go and put up here the right. So you have imported the account contact, and now based on that, you have performed the DML operation. And here I go and do one more thing, that is the console.log. Another thing that I want you guys to do, and if you folks can take that as an assignment, it's well and good, right? Even it's not part of the request, but as soon as the account has been created, you guys can perform the navigation as well. Okay. Again, in this example, what I'm going to do here is as soon as both of them has been created, I will go and display the toast message, and also I will go and clear the fields as well. How to go and display the toast message? For that, I have covered this in many examples, but let me do it in one more time. I will be using the toast message. So navigating here, displaying the toast message, right? So you need to go and use the toast event to display the toast message. Coming back here, you have to go and use the show toast method. Right? This is the method with the help of which you can go and display the message, pass the title, message, as well as the variant. And whatever the input that you are passing, you can simply go and use it here. Why we are doing this? Because we don't want to show the hard-coded message. And I want to utilize the same thing again and again. That's why to make it more scalable and to have the better usability, I am defining all these three attributes. I'm adding one more attribute here as the variant. So what I will do here is, as soon as the record has been created, I am displaying the success message here. But in case there's any error, what I will do here is, I will simply go and display the error message as well. We are already logging the error message, but to the user, I am giving the more appropriate error message. As I said, one more thing that I want to do here is I want to go and reset the fields as well. So here I go and put reset form. Right, in this reset form, I will simply go and set all these values to null. There is one more. Those are the four fields that we do have: account name, industry, last name, and email. I am simply resetting this field. And what I am doing here is, after displaying the success message, here I go and invoke this method as well, so that my form will be. I know it's a small component, but a pretty complex component as well. In the interview, you might not have to write down the complete code, but the interviewer might be explaining, expecting you to talk about the create record method, how you get the pick list values, how you do the validation. These are the key components that you should know whenever this kind of questions comes in the interview. Now let's go and do the final testing, whether everything is working as expected or not. So here I come, refresh the page. So here I am creating the account. Take Ankit, putting the industry as the education, contact last name Ankit Jain, and here I'm using the email, for example, ankit@test.com. Okay, I already might have the account with this name, so let me go and change it to a bit so that we should not get the conflicts. So here I go and submit it. Okay, validation here is it should be @salesforce.com. So here I go and put it and then the submit it. Okay, somehow it is breaking. No, it was not breaking actually. The account record has been created successfully, and you guys can see that my form has been cleared. But although it was working in the backend, my submit button was available. So one thing that I should do here is I already put that logic here about the is loading part. So what I will do here is, as soon as I am submitting it, after the validation, in this method, I will first go and set this dot is loading is equal to, so that my button will be disabled. And once the operation is completed, that means my form is reset. Then again, what I will do here is in my reset form only I will do, that is the this dot is loading. I'm setting it to form one more time, right? So that it will not be clicked twice. I hope you folks got the idea how we have created the complete form, how we have added the validations, performed the create operations on the account as well as the related contacts as well. As I said, if you folks want to download the code, because many times I do get requests related to the code. So the code is available in this interview prep guide. You will not only get the 350 plus questions or around 400 plus questions on the different areas, admin, Apex, LWC, integrations, flows, moreover the scenario based questions as well. You can also download the code of the LWC coding based questions. In case you folks have any scenario that you want me to cover in the next video, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you. Have a good time.